Where do you turn to test optical systems that will reveal the origin of the universe, to design efficient manufacturing systems, to conceive the future of space travel, to provide America with cybersecurity, to predict the effect of space weather on our planet? Where can you turn to get solutions for your problems? UAH. The Army Research Laboratory turned to UAH to find the best way for soldiers to master battlefield technology.
We do a line of experiments where we bring students in and get them to interact with a operator interface for UAVs.
Similar to my kids, they're the Xbox generation. You show them how to do something and they're off and running and teaching you more about the system than you know about it.
I'm one of the 5 soldiers on this team, and our mission is to clear this town. So my guy on the ground is now looking at a controller. He's able to see into this compound, this area, and say, okay, where are there possibly targets?
But the real skill that's needed is how do you maneuver through the various traps, scenes, and stay alive? And how do you do that in a group? We're going to try to crack that code, and I believe these students will help us do that.
If you can use or take some kind of advantage from knowing what the weather is going to do or might do, that gives you then a better chance to make a profit, to reduce your risk, to reduce your costs. And so we provide tremendous amounts of information to all kinds of industries to help them make those kinds of decisions.
Although weather here in Alabama is actually quite exciting, sometimes more exciting than we'd like, we basically go to the weather. So we're prepared to study high impact weather here in Alabama, but we can also take mobile platforms like radar, like mobile profiling systems, like Mobile Lightning Lab, and take that to wherever the high impact weather is. Electrical systems are highly impacted, our power systems by lightning. Commerce and transportation are impacted by lightning as well.
We call our students the foot soldiers of science. They are involved in every aspect of the research we do.
Recently, the Huntsville City SWAT team came to see some of the stuff that we had built and created, to see if they were interested in any of it or if they had any other ideas that they would like us to create for them.
This is a three-dimensional scanner that we're constructing as part of a senior design project that the SMAP Center is sponsoring. And the idea is that this will be placed on a rover and spun around on its axis, and it will create a 3D image of the interior of a building.
They were going over a concept to buy a robot that had the capability to have a zero turn. They wanted to eventually be able to make it autonomous or just have it controlled by a remote. I asked if I could put my opinion in, and they said sure. And I was like, why don't you just buy an electric wheelchair? You could buy one that has zero turn capability and it will do the exact same thing as the robot you're wanting. And so they were like, well, okay, research that for us. So I got on Craigslist. We found one for about $250, which was much less than what they were looking at purchasing, which was anywhere between $10,000 to $20,000.
They actually have a master's program here in cybersecurity, and they have different tracks that you can go down. They have a track for business, a track for computer science, and a track for computer engineering. And since my undergraduate is going to be in computer engineering, I'll be doing cybersecurity with computer engineering.
It's not strictly just a lecture school. A lot of research goes on here, and you feel like you're a part of it.
We're very engaged in everything that sort of starts at the atmosphere of the sun and moves outward into planetary space, understanding the impact of the sun on the Earth, which nowadays is often called space weather.
The people here are always willing, as Dr. Zink said, to collaborate with other people, with NASA, of course, and the institutes. We always try to get collaborators because we know if the more people you work with, the easier it is to try to figure out your problem.
In one example, UAH will work on the Faraday Cup attached to Solar Probe Plus in 2018. It will record ion strikes as the probe plunges into the sun's atmosphere.
We do some collaborative work with them now on a NASA project. The PI, the principal investigator, is a UAH professor. We subcontract some work recently to a group over there in reliability. So we really appreciate UAH. They have a lot of capability.
Putting all of that together makes us a really unusual, unique team that gives us an opportunity to do things that really very few other places in the world, not just the US, but in the world, can do together.
And they're raising up system engineers and design engineers. We've hired a number of guys and girls out of that program there, and so it's been a very good relationship for us.
Brilliant experts, rising star students, with labs and powerful computers backing them up. From weather on Earth to particles in space, soldier training to unmanned robots, companies and agencies tap our abilities every day. UAH.